All right. Once you have your house completed, so it looks like the one on this screen, we're going to start adding a little bit of detail. Now, to add the detail, we want to be thoughtful on where we place our doors and windows. Just like as a carpenter building a real house, doesn't just put doors and windows in random places. He's got to follow a blueprint. And really, this would be like a 3D version, a 3D model of a potential house that could be built by a carpenter. So to do that, we need to make sure we give him a good set of plans. Now today we're just going to do pretty basic. We're going to do one door with two windows, just right here on the front side of the house. The first thing we'll do is worry about the door. Now, if you remember from the last video, your house should be 30 feet wide from the left to the right, which would mean the middle of our house right here would be 15 feet from either side. We're going to center the front door of our house on this wall. Our door is going to be 36 inches wide, which means it's 3 feet. So to determine the center, we're going to have to do a little bit of math. So the center of our house is at 15 feet, and our door is going to be 3 feet right there, which means from our center point, we're going to have 1.5 feet this way and also 1.5 feet this way. So we need to locate where our edge of our door is going to be on the left side. To do that, we're going to take 15, which is the middle, minus 1.5, which gives us 13.5 feet will be the edge of our door. Now to mark that on SketchUp, on the left side, there's a tool that looks like a tape measure. It is called tape measure. Select the tape measure tool, and we're going to start measuring from the left corner. And again, as I drag this across, you can drag this until you get right at 13.5 feet. It's going to be hard to get it right there. Easiest thing to do again is as you're dragging it, take your hand off the mouse, just type in 13.5 apostrophe for feet. So down in the lower right hand corner, I have 13.5 feet. Enter. Now if I zoom in, you can see there's a little dot right here. The tape measure is going around it that shows us where 13.5 feet is. Once we have that done and that marked out, we're going to go grab our rectangle tool, grab the rectangle, and we're going to start right on that point. It'll snap to that guide point. So we're going to click once to start our square, our rectangle, and we're going to drag on that front wall. Now again, our door has a specific size. These are pre-made at the factory. We buy them at Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, the lumber yard. We need to make sure we have that correct door size for our house so it can be easily built. What we're going to do for our door is 36 inches wide, or 3 feet wide. And we're going to go, for this, we're going to go 7 feet tall. So right now, the height comes first. So as I have this floating, I haven't clicked to set it in yet. I'm going to type in 7 apostrophe, comma, 3 apostrophe, and hit enter. And we have a front door on the house that is 7 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Now to give a little bit of texture, I'm going to grab the push-pull, highlight over the door. I'm going to push it back. We'll go 6 inches. So as I'm pushing and pulling, since we're going into the house, it's going to be -6 apostrophe, or excuse me, quotation marks. So -6 inches, hit enter. Oops, I told that wrong. We're going to go push, we're going to go 6 quotation marks, enter. So that way it'll be offset 6 inches into the house. So as you push it in, that negative, or the 6 will turn into a negative. So at this point, you should have a door right in the middle of the house that's pushed 6 inches in. The next thing we're going to add is 2 front windows, one on the left of the door and one on the right. I want these doors are going to be 3 feet off the ground. They're going to be 4 feet tall on both. So to get the height of our windows, we're going to grab our tape measure, and from the bottom floor we're going to measure up 3 feet, enter, and then we're going to make another guideline with our tape measure tool. This time we want it to line up with the top of the door, so it'll be 7 feet. So we can either type in 7 feet, or another handy feature about SketchUp is if I want it to line up with the top of the door frame, I can hold my tape measure and then I'll click to that corner, and as I click there at 7 feet, it'll give us a guideline. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is going to find the center between the side of the house and the door, so we can have a good placement for our windows. To do this, we have our tape measure tool. I am going to measure over from the side wall, so I'm going to click as I'm on that edge, and now instead of coming over, or as I come over, should snap right to this midpoint of the wall. So if I come down, it's blue. It's at 6 foot 9 inches. I'm going to click there. I'm going to do the same thing on the right with my tape measure. I'm going to click on the right wall, drag it over, and it's going to snap right to the midpoint. I click, and that'll give us a nice guideline to lay out our windows. Once we have those, we can grab our rectangles, and now just to start it, I just want you to draw a rectangle real quick. Remember, this window is going to be 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide. So we're just going to type in 4 quotation or apostrophe, comma, 4 apostrophe, enter, and we'll have a rectangle. Now this is not centered on this line. So you can see the center of our window is here, our line is here. Easy way to get that aligned is if we grab our move tool. I'm going to click our window first. We have our window. I'm going to grab our move tool. I'm going to grab the midpoint of our window, and I'm going to drag it over to the midpoint of that line. So we'll repeat the process on the right. Accidentally clicked. So we're going to have our rectangle 4 apostrophe, comma, 4 apostrophe, enter. We have our square, and I'm going to highlight the square, so this one's blue. Now with the move tool, I'm going to grab the midpoint of our window, and I'm going to drop it right where those 2 lines intersect. So now I have 2 windows that are going to be centered between the door and the side of the wall. Now again, we're going to use our push-pull tool. We're going to get a little bit of depth. Type it in, 6, quotation mark, enter. Come over to here, push this one in, 6, quotation marks, enter. So now we have a house with 2 windows and a front door that are going to be evenly spaced. All right. Double check your work. Make sure these are in the center. If you have questions, make sure you ask me before you move on. Once your house looks exactly like this one in the picture, you are ready to go to the third and final video.